glory, Man United! Glory, glory, Man United! Glory, glory, Man United! The Saints go marching up, up, up! I lost my fucking voice! This is MUFC Realist TV from Hag and Manchester. And this is the reaction. The crowd reaction is absolutely mental. We are on the third spot and we are going to win the fucking league. I lost my fucking voice. Unbelievable. Let's see what the mood is like here. Unbelievable. And what a performance. What a fucking game. And we are going to win the league, aren't we?
Just soak that in. Monday morning, and I'm still gassed and high on endorphins. Good morning, Reds, wherever you are in the world. This is Mick Ruby, and boy, does it feel to be good to be a Manchester United supporter, because you know what? For the first time in about 9-10 years, I feel whole as a Manchester United supporter, and most of the fan base feels the same. Eric Ten Hag has transformed this squad from being bottlers to being monsters, right? It's all about application, mentality, discipline, and endurance, right? My voice is coming slowly back, but it's been far too long since I missed screaming like I did the celebration goals. We are here to talk about 10 things we learned about Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United in the week 20 in the Premier League. Let's go.
You want Frankie?
Alright then, point number 1 must be Manchester is red. We had a 2-1 scintillating win against the well-drilled Pep Guardiola side. It's been now 18 games since we played, and only those 18 games, the only game we lost was against City. That was humiliating. You know what? This came down to revenge and drama. When it comes to derbies, it's all about the bragging rights. Who wants it more? In fact, when you look at the where you sit in the table and you run on forms at the moment goes out the window. We all know that, that's the thing. That's the beauty of derbies, and this is football. But there's a big but, and that big but is the thorn in Pep Guardiola's butt. It's Eric Ten Hag, because Ten Hag had his time of 17 games to reflect how he will set up against City. He learned the game. He learned his players, their mentality, the application, the comeback kings, as what we said. You know what? We played with a bite while City looked toothless. You know what? I must say, but arguably, he set up his team perfectly fine, shutting down City's midfield, shutting down Haaland, shutting down Mahrez. Yeah, we saw that. You know what? They might say that City had 70% in ball possession, but let's talk about Fred. Fred's job together with El Clasico, when I call him El Clasico, Casemiro, was to shut down that midfield. Kevin De Bruyne, who? He pocketed Kevin De Bruyne. The only time Kevin De Bruyne got free when he slipped away from Fred and managed to put in one shot on target what City had, and that hit the bum, Jack Grealish's head. You know what? So let's talk about the brilliance of Malacia and Shaw that totally froze out the wings. And also Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Big kudos. The big back four was amazing. The midfield was amazing. It doesn't matter if City had 70% of ball possession. It sure didn't look like that. It sure didn't feel like that. Because you know what? We had 3 big chances in the first half that could have gone in. The shot from Bruno and the 2 almost clearances. Rashford came free against Edison but missed. This was a sign that we got him. We got him by the balls until Jack Grealish came in the second half. But you know what? Manchester is red, and it feels so good to put the noisy neighbors to bed.
The city is yours! The city is yours!
All right, number 3, has to come down to the offside drama, mama. It's the Red Devils, of course. It's Manchester United. Of course, there's going to be talks, what. But we surged back from that 1-0 in the second half to get the 1-1 equalizer. But, we saw how Casemiro found the feet of Rashford. Rashford never touched the ball. He ran with the ball, and then Bruno picked it up and hit it curved it around Edison, and boy, that was 1-1. But you know what? By the letter of the law, Marcus Rashford may have technically been onside, but there's no way he didn't impact the positioning of Manuel Akanji or the City goalkeeper Edison. For United's equalizer, the fact that Rashford ran over the goal with the ball basically under his feet surely interfered with the play and impacted the positions of others, but still, it was given. So just jog on, move on. The linesman raised the flag, they had a discussion, they understood that Rashford never interfered with the play, he never touched the ball, Bruno was not in the offside position, and it was 1-1. Bam, bamboozala, boom. And that's about it, From there on, we went in a 5-6 minute spell to actually destroy City, which absolutely was a game changer. Thank Lord for VAR and for right decisions. Okay, number 3 needs to be mentioned again, the comeback kings. This game for me has shown how far Eric Ten Hag has come with the squad. Looking at the 5-6 years back, this game for me was clearly a masterpiece what Eric Ten Hag has been working on. The game to me was all about application, the mentality, the discipline, players following the gaffer's instruction from minute 1 to the end, to the T. United's entire team stuck with the plan of Eric Ten Hag. He got his subs right. His in-game management with Anthony and Alejandro Garnacho adding their extra trickery and the substitution in the second half on the counter made the difference. That made the goal. Garnacho coming in, running at defenders, giving them something to think about. I think he hit Nathan Ake. Then instead, what does he do? Takes the ball and he flips Nathan Ake and pings it right up to the cross of the open goal of Rashford's just to tap in. Rashford is now tapping in goals like Ronaldo used to do, like Haaland does. No, he's not just a wing player anymore. This, for me, is amazing. From the whole perspective of how the team is following Ten Hag's instructions, from being mentally prepared for actually wanting to win this game. I know it's City, but City is probably one of the hardest opponents to come back and win, especially when you 1 down. Even Marcus Rashford said in the interview, when they 1-0 up, they just don't let to have you the ball. They just pass it around to each other. It's trickery. So comeback kings, here we go. That's it. Kudos. I would say that it was an incredible, impeccable display from Eric Ten Hag and his men. But also, the ones that played a major part of this in this comeback was the crowd. It was electric. Number 4. What has changed in the last 5-6 years, including Bruno Fernandes was saying, we play as a team, no longer as an individuals or individual brilliance. We've clearly seen what Eric Ten Hag is doing, how he's transformed this mentality of the squad. Everyone that comes in as a substitution knows exactly what they're supposed to do. We are pressing from the front. We are dictating the play. We are defending the midfield. We're swamping that midfield. But the defense is also defending like a proper team. We're defending with the whole team. As a matter of fact, we are now the best defenders in the entire Premier League. And that wins you titles. That wins you games. That wins you pretty much everything. So you apply the same application in game to game. We play one game at a time. We won about City. We won against Liverpool. We beat Arsenal. We beat the mid-table. We beat the low mid-tables. This is how you actually win the league, by playing the way you are instructed to play. you play as a team. Boy, is amazing to see actually. What a difference. And now number 5, the squad depth. Okay, you know, I am the one that's suffering from PTSD along with almost the entire global fan base, that we are in the January transfer market. We need to go to reinforce Eric Ten Hag's squad actually. You know, we got Wood Weghorst in, which offers something totally different. But even Eric Ten Hag was praising Martial for the past 2-3 interviews, saying how important Martial is for the team. But if we look at the current squad that we have and the transformation what we've seen, you know, with Wan-Bissaka doing a madness as a right back, we no longer need a replacement right back. We've seen Luke Shaw can play as a centre back while, you know, Martinez is having a rest. We've seen Malacia being on absolutely form, playing as a Luke Shaw replacement on the left back. You know, so where do we lack? You know, our late wingers are stocked. Our front line is fully booked almost. We need maybe one more in the summer, one more attacker in the summer. But it's actually the midfield which is kind of worrying me, right? So Ericsson can simply not play another, you know, 90-95 minutes 3 days a week. He needs a little bit of a rest or replacement. What happens is Casemiro gets injured. The drop-off is quite huge to Scott McTominay. We've seen that Fred is coming in and doing absolutely madness. He's been transformed under Eric Ten Hag. So where do we need to go to recruit? Where can we find? It's absolutely, we need one more midfielder to challenge for the title, or, you know, until we get back to the summer. So the overall in general is the entire squad depth is quite impressive at the moment, because going back to number 4, everyone that comes in knows the style of play, knows the position how to apply within Eric Ten Hag's system. So I'm not worried, but I hopefully we can get in a midfielder before the January 31st. Let me know what you think. Number 6, kudos has to go to Marcus Rashford, MBEA. Marcus Rashford is on fire. Why call the fire department to wash down a burning man when he's actually scoring and making records? In 9 consecutive home games, Rashford has bagged goals, equaling with Dennis Violet record. You know, I think he scored about 15 in all competition, 15 goals, and we're just in January. So I do expect Marcus Rashford to hit his peak of 20 plus goals this season, and that is just the beginning. The whole team is actually supporting Marcus Rashford itself. Like, you know, we have Garnacho, we have a lot of players that are stepping up to the plate, senior players, youngsters, everyone is contributing. You know, so goals will come not only from Rashford, it will come from the wing, it will come from the midfield, it will come from headers and set pieces. I'm not worried, but kudos for Marcus Rashford for making it this far, considering where people were slagging him off last season for he lost his mental health. You know what? We also have Sancho coming back in. Number 6 has to go down to the defensive record. You know, we have clean sheets. We have play. I don't know how many goals that we have let in the past 6-7 games. I think it's 2 goals, and this comes down to our defensive partnership. Even if, you know, Martin has been out from the World Cup as a rest, we still had the general. I'm talking about Raphael Varane, the cool, composed, you know, World Championship player, Rolls-Royce of a player, Raphael Varane. What he brings to the defense is immense. You know, you could put anyone playing next to Raphael Varane, such as Luke Shaw, that is not a, you know, left-sided centre-back, but he's been stepping in, and Luke Shaw has been freaking amazing in this job. You know, Luke Shaw is kind of a ball-carrying, you know, left back, similar traits to Lisandro Martinez. So it made sense that he threw in, instead of Harry Maguire, he threw in Luke Shaw to play next to Varane in absence of Martinez. But the defensive shape is looking amazing, as mentioned previous. We have Malacia that's doing a great job. He's like a pit bull on a bone. We have Luke Shaw stacked on the left that can also now play in this sort of left-sided centre-back position. Our first choice has to be then Raphael Varane, who is the general. And then you got to look at Harry Maguire that can come in and do a job. Victor Lindelof as well. Uh, on the right back, we have number 1, of course, Diego Dalot, who is generally being injured but can have a little bit of a rest. For me, it's very, very important that also Aaron Wan-Bissaka is finding his feet, and we see how he can dribble with the ball, like, you know, from the past game when we played Charlton, etc., and against City as well. You know, we are actually stacked. We have the best defense in the league, and that is down to Eric Ten Hag and his coaching staff. Number 7 has to come down to leaders on the pitch. We have now several leaders on the pitch. What we talked about in the past 5-6 years, that we lacked the leadership. With the signing of Casemiro, he's arguably our best CDM or Michael Carrick replacement that we so dearly missed. He's arguably the best CDM in the world at the moment, and boy, Real Madrid is probably looking, why did we let him go? Did he just come to United for the money? No. We've seen his passion, we've seen his fight, we've seen how he actually motivates others on the field. We have likes of Bruno also being a leader. We have Rashford stepping up to the plate being a leader. Lisandro Martinez is a leader. Everyone is a leader. De Gea is a leader. The whole team is playing like a team, as mentioned before. So leadership for me is so important also in the dressing room. You know, the way we go in, you know, during the first half, the team talks, the application, the way that Eric Ten Hag wants the team to apply on the pitch and off the pitch is simply working. And this makes a difference from game to game. Number 8, and arguably amid is the table position in January right now. We are sitting on 3rd position. Who would have thought that, right? Nobody was counting on us. You know, everyone was saying, nah, United's going to finish 6th, 8th. But if you look at the current table position, we are 10 points clear of Liverpool and City, who sits at the mid-table. We are about 5 points clear of Tottenham, that has 1 game more than us played. We are 1 point behind City, to be honest. And of course, Arsenal won the game against Spurs yesterday, so we are approximately 9 games behind Arsenal. But guess what? We played everyone, almost all the top 6. Arsenal still hasn't played City, not once. So the ball is round and anything can happen. So all I care about is our next game against Crystal Palace. You know what? And then we go to Arsenal with the confidence. And if we beat Arsenal, I swear to God, the wheels will be turning, which leads us to the next point. Number 9, we are in for a Gooner Hunt. You know, we don't have the pressure on ourselves, like, you know, because the way it used to be, the rivalry is back, you know, where we used to fight for the title with Arsenal. I see this as a refreshing. Football goes in cycles, and now, you know, City is falling off the wagon a little bit. Liverpool is falling off the wagon. Chelsea. So now the reins is back where it used to be, meaning Arsenal and United are fighting for the title. Are we in a title race? We have no pressure, no expectations on us. Nobody thought that we will be sitting on the 3rd position with about 9 points, 1 point off City at this moment. But guess what? We have beaten Arsenal. We have beaten Spurs. We have beaten City. We played equal with Chelsea. We played all the top 6, while Arsenal haven't yet. So it's a long way to go. Barring that City is what City are at the moment, a little bit out of form. There's still a danger, there's still a threat, they can find their feet. But Arsenal per se, missing out on signing Mudryk, having Gabriel Jesus injured, having a thin squad, you know, anything can happen, because injuries play a big part in how you win the league this season as well. If you manage to stay injury free and rotate well, which I believe the Manchester United can do, comparing to Arsenal with a very thin squad, what they have in the bench, I don't see this happening for Arsenal, unless the Lady Fortuna is on their side. But if Arsenal wins the league, for me, it's kudos, it's great, because I don't want to see City win another Premier League title again. I don't want to see Liverpool win a title again. So I'd rather see, in that case, Arsenal win it. But first and foremost, I want us to win the title. which leads me to the next point. And this point number 10 has to be, we are in a title race. We must surely be, barring if we look at the table, there we are 10 points clear of Liverpool and Chelsea, 1 point behind Manchester City and 9 points below Arsenal. I mean, as I said, it's the football is round and anything can happen. It's the law of physics. You know, what comes out must come down. Is Newton's law, basically. So what I mentioned in point 9 is that injury-free seasons is so important to keep freshness in the squad. And Eric Ten Hag, what we've seen, he can rotate. He can line up players according to the opponent. He can rest Bruno, he can rest Eriksen, he can rest Rashford. He has options to rest. Looking at Arsenal, what they can do, not much what they can do. If they get injured to Thomas Partey, they're pretty much screwed, right? Who are they going to replace? It's going to be a long, crucial, very, very hard run of fixtures where most of the teams that are in the cup games, such as Arsenal and ourselves and Manchester City, we are in the Carabao Cup, we are in the FA Cup, we are playing in the Europa League against Barcelona, we are also going for the title. The same as Arsenal, same with everyone else in the top 6. The only one is not doing it is pretty much Newcastle, right? But I don't see Newcastle having the strength to go for it. Therefore, I understand that we tread with cautious, like Mark Goldbridge is saying, I don't believe we're going to finish top 4. Bullshit. We are going to finish in top 4, barring where Liverpool and Chelsea are sitting at the moment. We are minimum going to finish in 2nd or 3rd. But that doesn't mean that we can beat ourselves on the chest to go for a Gooner Hunt, to say we can win the league. We can win the FA Cup. Hell, we can win every competition, because Eric Ten Hag even mentioned it. I want to win every game. And I want to win every silverware that's out there. So guys, Manchester United is back. Rivals be scared and salty. Pundits stop talking shit about us. We have the best manager in the league that transformed our team to be winners. And that's about it, people. So I'm excited. Come, let's see what in May. If we finish with a trophy, I'm more than happy. That's over exceeding my expectation, as this season was all about the rebuild. But look at us now. We are actually contenders for the title. Guys, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's not mandatory to like and subscribe, but if you do so, really helps. And have a fantastic morning. This is Mick Ruby from MUFC Realist TV signing out. See you later. Bye for now. Oi, oi, oi. Thank you for watching MUFC Realist TV and this episode. Listen, if you really like what you're seeing, please continue watching other content that we provide, because it's unique content providing by a fan for the fan, allowing you to be real red for real with real opinions, because at the end of the day, we are MUFC Realist TV. Even better, if you want to join our community, make us better, play for the team, hit that join button. Together, we will grow and make it better. Thank you for watching, and by the way, support the team for God's sake, because that's what we do here. Cheers!